Welcome back. So Arsenal fans might be worried about not winning the league, but do Tottenham Hotspur fans have reasons to be even more worried than their neighbours? Discontent seems to be growing amongst fans who once again were singing that manager Thomas Frank will be sacked in the morning. Well, he wasn't sacked. He is still in charge. Let's say he was to go, Tim, and you were in charge of recruiting the new manager, whether it be interim or long-term. What would you do?
Well, in the short term, you've got to find out who's actually out there for Tottenham. But if it was in the summer, for instance, I hope they keep him till the summer. I hope it stays for the next 10 years, because that means he's been a success. But if they was to make a change and it was a clean slate and you could pick the managers what I think would be the job would be attractive to, I would go for De Zerbi at Marseille. I think he's a perfect, for the style of play, I think he's absolutely bang on perfect for what Tottenham fans are looking for.
Do you think
always plays on the front foot, no matter who? You see him against Liverpool in midweek. No matter who they play against, they will play on the front foot and they will play attacking style football. The only problem with De Zerbi is that he can be a little bit prickly. I'm not sure he will suffer fools in the boardroom. If they, he won't be someone they can pull around in there. So it depends what they want.
Is it Premier League arrogance to think that De Zerbi would definitely take the Tottenham job, even though he's at Marseille?
Yeah.
You think he would take it, or you think it's Premier League arrogance?
Total arrogance towards the Premier League. But I think it's realistic. I think if Marseille's a huge job, of course it is. But I think if he got offered to come back to Tottenham Hotspur, I think he would pick Tottenham over Marseille. But he would need all the ducks in a row. And what I mean by that, he wants to know how the club's going to be and run. Is he going to have the final say on recruitment of players? Is he going to be able to play the players what he wants to play when he wants to play them? We know the style, we know the blueprint, we know exactly what his team will perform like, because that's De Zerbi, it's quite clear.
In terms of chance of you getting sacked in the morning, when it's from opposition fans, it's kind of football banter, shall we call it. When it's your own fans, that's different.
Yeah, that was harsh. But to be fair, on that little clip there, 5, 10 people.
It didn't actually seem as loud as I was.
No, I heard
expecting, actually.
I heard it
when I heard there were chants, I thought it was going to be more than that.
Yeah. I mean, look, Thomas knows. He's no fool. He's an intelligent guy. He knows that it's not great at the moment. And a draw away at Burnley isn't fantastic, to rescue it at the death there. And let's have it right, they didn't play bad. But it doesn't matter how they're playing at the moment, really. It's about getting results, because fans, you can't lose a London derby at home at West Ham. A couple of weeks previously, you lose a London derby at home at Fulham. You get beat away at Bournemouth, and then you go to Bournemouth, Burnley, who are looking like 99% they're going to be in the Championship next year and not getting maximum points. So fans are going to be disgruntled. Of course they are, because Tottenham are in 14th place in the league. They're out of both cup competitions. They're flying high. They play Frankfurt midweek in the Champions League. If they win that, they qualify automatically for the top 8. So they're going well in that. Realistically, what chance have they got of winning that competition? Look, they're 8 points from relegation. I know your next question is going to be, are they in a relegation battle? 8 points, but they're also 9 points from the Champions League spots. So it can go either way. The problem they're going to have, Tom, is that the next games, they play Man City, they play Man United, they play Newcastle, and then they go London derby again, North London derby against Arsenal. So the games don't look great on paper. But the games what have looked fantastic on paper, they haven't won. So perhaps they can go and win them big games where you don't really give them a chance. Man City is a good team to play if you're a Tottenham manager, because you always beat Man City.
Right. Well, we'll see what happens this time. Chris Cowlin, actually, that video we just showed was sent in by Chris Cowlin, who is on now to speak to us. All right, Chris, what were the chances of you getting sacked in the morning? Was it as loud as made out? Because Tim and I didn't think it was actually that bad.
Tim, good morning to you. Yeah,
morning.
They were loud, and it was throughout the whole of the game as well. And also, what you didn't show, they also sang, sideways and backwards everywhere we go.
Yeah.
And Thomas Frank, your football is rubbish. So I think that says a lot at the moment, the way that the Spurs fans feel about Thomas Frank. And it's not just at away games. The last home game before the full-time whistle against West Ham. And when you're talking about a relegation zone, we've just played 2 teams in the last week in the relegation zone. And we lost home to West Ham and we scraped a draw at Burnley. It's pretty embarrassing at the moment. And I'm worried, like Tim, you just mentioned our next 4 fixtures in Feb. At least you know the fixtures, because even in the post-match presser, Thomas Frank didn't even know the fixtures.
Okay.
Probably don't want to think about them.
Well, maybe it's just what managers say, focusing on the next game. That's what they were saying. But in terms of relegation battle, you don't actually think you're in a relegation battle, do you?
Why not? No one is too good to go down, Tom. And when you look at the Premier League table right now, all our Spurs fans kept looking up, saying we're only X amount of points away from the top 5, those European spots where we always expect Spurs to be. But when you look at the table now, West Ham have just picked up 5 points more than us in this last week. They're sitting on 20 points. Spurs are on 28. We've got Crystal Palace, Leeds, Forest all behind us. And when you look at these fixtures in Feb, extremely tough, and you don't know where the next points are coming from. Yeah, and when you think about our top goal scorers this season in all competitions, Richarlison with 8, he's out injured. Van de Ven and Romero 7 and 6 respectively. Polina in and out of the team on 5. Johnson with 4. We've sold him to Crystal Palace. So where are the goals coming from? That is my issue as well. And a lot needs to happen. But that performance, I know Tim said that it was a fairly decent performance. It was better than what we've seen this season at Burnley. But defensively, I thought we were all over the place. There was no shape. It seemed to be more like a diamond back four, when the players were running back rather than, in a straight line. And in midfield, we were overrun. And in attack,
Chris,
we just couldn't be clinical. So it wasn't that great.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I mean, your biggest goal threats are your 2 centre-backs, Mickey van der Ven and Romero. But if only they was as sharp and switched on in their own box, to defend their own goal rather than the anticipation, what they show, and the sharpness and the quality they show in the opposition box. I know they're trying their best to go and rescue the game. I'm not suggesting changing them to, but you need a little bit of help around them as well, to realise that you have to defend in this game. You have to work from a solid base. Man United have showed that. Michael Carrick's gone in there, he's kept it nice and simple and say, we'll keep this nice and solid here. But then you've got the creativity from the players in front. I'm not sure, don't know what you think, but I'm not sure Tottenham had the creativity in the midfield areas. If they haven't got it, they're certainly not being asked in their principles of play to play the ball forward, to try them things. I'm sure that some of them have got the quality. I mean, Conor Gallagher at the moment must be thinking, wow, I'm here to run into the box to try and score goals. He's hardly had a shot in 2 games.
You've been saying all season that you've been saying about how Tottenham trying to get the ball need to get the ball forward. Chris, very, very quickly, because I'm afraid we're running out of time. We know you want Frank out. We know you want Pochettino in the summer. What do you want to do in the meantime? Very quickly.
Well, I think you definitely need a team of interim, appointments. So even if it was 2 or 3 coaches to come in and take us till the end of the season, because we could salvage this very poor season that we've had so far and get that European spot if we had a Michael Carrick type character come in. But I know, Tim, I could speak to you for hours about, Tottenham's recruitment, and I feel like we are really. We're in a state in that regard because we haven't put the furniture in the mansion like Pochettino said back in 2019. But you mentioned Pochettino there, Tom, on 3 separate occasions during that Burnley game. The fans were actually singing his name, so I think that the fans have spoken.
It does seem
again.
like everybody's wanting him in the summer. Chris, thank you.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you.
Right, so many of you get in touch this morning. We'll be talking more on Arsenal at 11 o'clock. We've had plenty of voice notes about yesterday's defeat.
I don't think it's the pressure of the players. Well, you can say that at times. I think it's the pressure of the manager. I think the manager is of the belief, and a lot of people can be of the belief, that if Arsenal win nothing this year, that he can't be kept in the job.
Right, more on that next. We're also going to be talking about Liverpool as well.